symphony. What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Kim here, and I'm finally back with another video. Know it's been a while, y'all. I'm gonna keep it 100. I have been struggling with finding content that I want to put out. I just honestly did not know which one I want to go forward with, and I kind of still don't know exactly what I want to do, but I'm gonna just go off what I know, and I'm gonna just do the best that I can to make good content for y'all. The topic I want to talk about is usually when people go through certain situations that don't work out right, or people experience things that don't turn out right the first time. A lot of times people tend to avoid getting into that situation again entirely, instead of going through it again but doing different things, finding the errors of what happened before and switching it. This may be a no-brainer to people. You may feel like it's a no-brainer, but a lot of times you or others may do it and you may not even realize that you do it. I've done it a few times. I've thought it was a no-brainer, but when you actually sit back and think of like things you do, you possibly have or do this. And I think the easiest way to talk about this example is through relationships. That's the easiest way. There's multiple ways that I can talk about this, but I think the easiest way that people can probably think of or relate to is about relationships. As always, I want to leave people with a good message with my videos, so I am gonna do that, and I'm never just gonna do a Kim Talks video and never tell you what the moral of the message is. I'm not just gonna rant without giving you a message. But I have had this conversation with one of my friends a lot, and we kind of went deep into this. At first I didn't even realize that I was doing it, but he kind of told me that I was doing it, and then I kind of realized it and thought about it and thought about how stupid it is. For example, most people have that relationship that just didn't turn out well. I went through a year of a relationship with a person that was not the best at all for me. I was not happy in that relationship. I was not treated right in that relationship, and it was a lot of things that caused me to like deter from doing that ever again, getting into another relationship, which is the dumbest thing possible, because the issue was not the fact that I was in a relationship. The issue was the person and things that I was doing, things that they were doing. The issues within the relationship were the problem, not the fact that I was in a relationship. For a while, instead of learning my mistakes with that person and learning how to not run into that problem ever again, I did what a lot of people do and try not to go into another relationship ever again, which doesn't fix anything. You're not learning anything from doing it. You have to learn how to tackle problems, not run from. If there is an obstacle in front of you, you're just gonna turn around and walk that away. No, you have to jump over it. I mean, challenges are meant to be in life. You have to learn how to learn from them, fix them, and never do them again. I've seen people that I've known recently, and I've seen myself do this a lot. It's a defense mechanism, so to speak, for a lot of people, and it doesn't really help at all. You can't let past events control you or hold you back, because that's all you're doing. Now, don't be in terms of relationship, don't be that person who goes into another relationship and repeat the same process or find the same person. Don't rinse and repeat. That's insanity. Doing the same thing, expecting different results. It doesn't do anything. Now, the thing that brought me to when I talk about this topic today is I seen a quote. It goes like, don't let yourself be controlled by 3 things: people, past experience. The first 2, it's kind of a no-brainer, but a lot of times people do let that affect them. That's not a topic I'm gonna go. It's not a topic I'm gonna go into, because I mean, it's not something I've experienced, so I wouldn't be able to talk too much about it. I could never be controlled by people or money. That's just me, so I can't really talk on that. But the third thing, which is what we're talking about today, is the thing that got to my attention. And the way that I responded to this, I put the quote nicely, and I was the one who, but what I said, and I quote for myself, obviously, the problem that most individuals are afraid to admit is that they have a problem with the thing that most individuals are afraid to admit is the fact that they have problems with is the third thing of not letting past experiences control them. I've even at certain times done it. Once people go through certain issues from the past, it drives them to avoid getting into the same situation again without thinking. Maybe the situation wasn't the problem. There could have been other factors, like the decisions made on one's end timing, or even lack of experience. Whatever the reason it may be, people may never try to fix it. Whatever the reason it may be, people will never figure out what it is if they don't fix it instead of running from it. You have to overcome obstacles, don't run from it. And not even just my past relationship, it's been a few potential relationships that I could have had that I kind of ran away from because of things that occurred within my longest relationship. A good example of that would be when, with my most recent relationship, I tended to make the other person that I was in a relationship with open up to me a lot and try to tell me what's going on, to fix the issue, to fix the problem, or whatever they're feeling. And I've always been a caring person, so I'm always gonna put a lot of effort into people that I care about. That's just always been me. And like, it was hard for this individual because they were kind of in the same boat as me, sort of making her get out of her comfort zone, which helps her, but at the same time I wasn't giving that back. Even though I showed a lot of care for her and would be very invested into whenever she's down or whenever she needed help, when it came time to flip, whenever she seen that it was something wrong with me or I was down and she would try to ask me, you know, what's wrong, talk to me, I would completely just like, no, don't worry about me, let me just worry about you. That's wrong. That was something that I took along with me from a previous relationship that wasn't right on that person's end or my end for letting it occur. My long-term ex that I was with for a long time used to do that. She was a very selfish individual. As long as she was happy, basically that's all that mattered. I knew this about her for a long time. I kind of didn't care. She was really my first love, you know, the whole story basically with that. Most people have that uncontrollable love for their first. It usually happens. It's, you know. But the person I was with was really selfish, kind of only cared about themselves. They didn't really show me much care. I'm a very caring individual, so I always cared about them. But when it came time to show love for me or, you know, show interest in me, they really didn't have much to say or much to help me or anything. More of that story though, and I'll go into that later. I had a lot of health problems and everything after that relationship, and a lot of issues that came with me and my family, and a lot of depression issues and anxiety and panic attacks came from that relationship. I was not happy in that relationship, but that was something that I took with me that was wrong with that relationship that I took into the next relationship. But to fast forward on my previous relationship, because I took that with me, I would always be there for her. That was a good quality I took with me from my last relationship. I would always be there for her. Whenever she needed me, I would always cheer her up. It usually helped. But when the tables flipped, I couldn't do the same. And it was almost like, it was basically, I was making her feel like my ex before that made me feel, where she was basically left out, and it was just like, what are you doing? Like, you're damn near a stranger because you're not letting me in, you're not letting me help you. It's not how a relationship is. A relationship is 50-50. And that was a defense guard that I've kept for a long time. It's something that I would never learn if I didn't get into another relationship. That was an issue that I've learned that I've had in that previous relationship and possible relationships after that I was doing. My whole point is, for example, for that, you have to be able to get into a situation again and do things differently. Otherwise, you'll never be able to do the right thing when the time comes. Experience is everything. You have to experience things in order to learn things. If you're not experiencing things, you're never gonna really grow. You can't be scared of getting into the same situation. You just have to figure out what went wrong the first time. Just because you got your heart broken doesn't mean you have to quit. You know, probably wasn't the right person, or maybe you weren't doing something right, or maybe both of y'all weren't doing something right. You have to figure it out. You're never gonna figure it out if you keep running. It's how people learn things. Let's go back to math or English or whatever subject you were good at in high school or college. Were you good at it from the start? No. You had to do trial and error. It's the same thing with with everything else in life. A lot of things in life are trial and error. I've kind of dragged this video on for a long time. It's just a quick little video. I kind of just want to put some content out. It will be some more content coming. I'm kind of low on energy right now. I'm kind of just pushing this out. But stay tuned. I will be back for more. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Stay smooth. Keep smiling. Keep pushing. Keep smiling, y'all. Keep being happy. Keep doing what you do. And I'll see y'all in the next video.